How do you spot a blind man at a nudist beach? It's not hard. Hello everybody. Hello everybody and welcome to this video, and today I wanted to talk to you about something that has happened to me this week. Something quite big, and I wanted to talk to you about my experience with it, and let's begin. As you've probably seen from the title of the video, I was involved in a rather nasty crash. It was bad. My car was completely gone. That's it. It's written off, which was heartbreaking. But I really wanted to talk about sort of the experience, if that's okay with you guys. It's not a gaming video, but it's definitely something that happened to me. So it's about, I don't know, about 8 o'clock in the morning. I was driving, as you do, just about to shoot off and do what you need to do in life. I turned into a road, and there's the road I was turning right across the oncoming road to go down another road. The road I was on was a 30-mile-an-hour road, and I was hit head on by a driver that must have been doing between 50 and 60 miles an hour. He hit me to the point where there was nothing I could do. There was absolutely nothing I could do. It was horrible. I don't think I'm just doing this so I've got some content for you. That's not the point, not the plan. But it was crazy, and don't ask me how it feels before the impact. Don't ask me how it feels after the impact. It was a blur. It was a complete blur. I just remember pulling in, and then the next thing I know, I thought, shit, he's going to hit me. And then the next thing I know, I was about 2 foot further across in my vehicle. Airbags had all come out, and I was just sat there. And I'm plastered up. Under here is a burn, and I was actually, there was smoke coming from this, and I just sort of looked at it, and I remember just being completely out of it. I just went, and I put my skin out, put my arm out with my hand, just put it out because it was on fire. And then I just sat there. I sat there for about 5 minutes, just sat in my car, doing nothing. And it was insane. It's really weird because at first it's like you think to yourself, this is my life is over. Everything's over because it's so big. You just think, what am I going to do? And I just sat in the vehicle, and when you start to speak to people that you're involved with, because it sets a huge... Hang on, I just stood on a CD there. That's going to break that. That wasn't very clever, Phil. What were they? Oh no, I've got Hellraiser 2 and Napoleon Dynamite. There you go. Great film. And it sets in motion loads of different things, and loads of different things start to happen. So you've got kind of like, at first it was I had to speak to someone on the phone. Someone had got on the phone for me to speak to like 999, so they could like ascertain if I was like dead or whatever. And I just remember like all my neck here was insanely painful, and I just thought, I can't move my head, and I'm still struggling with it. And I'll tell you what I'm afterwards what I got. But so I had to deal with that, and then the fire engine turns up. I was thinking, fucking hell. And then the police turn up because it was a major road traffic accident. It was a bad one. So the police turn up, obviously, so they can assess the situation and make sure I haven't been drinking, which I hadn't been drinking. I don't drink, so and make sure I haven't been taking drugs or anything like that, or stuff like that. So they ascertain the situation, and you kind of think to yourself, like, this is a big thing now. This is all big. And it isn't. It's just they kind of turn up. The fire engine made sure that the car was safe, so they turned the battery off, and they just pushed. They couldn't push the car because my car was one of these ones where it's all electrical. So as soon as they disconnected the battery to stop it from setting a fire, everything shut off including the power steering. Everything was off. It was a complete steering lock, so they couldn't move the vehicle. So they had to wait for a tow truck. And this is all. It's just weird how everything gets set in motion all of a sudden. As soon as something happens, you know, your life is completely unaffected by everything. Just going along in life, and then bang, it's just over. It's done. This is all happening. And then the police, obviously, they was obviously asking me questions, and the other guy was pissing about over this way. I don't know what he was doing. I don't really care. I just had to make sure he was okay. Other than that, I wasn't bothered. And yeah, I just sort of stood there, and I just thought, well, you know, this is my life now. My car was completely wrecked. It was heartbreaking because it was my baby. I love cars. I've always loved vehicles since I was a kid. So this particular vehicle was something I really liked. I loved my car. So to see it kind of in pieces, and I was like, fuck, I can't. What am I going to do? You know, how am I going to get this sorted? It was written off. It was pulled into a south. It was taken away because it was right in the centre of the road. There was washer fluid everywhere. It was just fucked. And it's really weird because once they've sort of done their bit, everyone just goes. Everyone just leaves, you know. So it was like the police did their bit, and then they just went. They were just like, okay, and then off they went. Because they closed the road, and then eventually, once the car was moved, done. Fire engine did the same, and then they were like, right, we've booked you an ambulance. You need to go to the hospital. You need to be seen. For my burn and my neck, you know, just to make sure there was no spinal injury to it, which I did. And eventually I didn't go in the ambulance that they called. I cancelled the ambulance and I walked in. I walked there. Well, I didn't walk. I caught the bus. I was a bus wanker for an entire day. And off I went. I did that and got that done. And it's like, I don't know, it was really strange because it was like so surreal. Like, I rang the finance company because the car was on finance, and I rang the finance company, and it's like telling someone, you're like, oh, and I was like, guess what's happened? And they were like, what's happened? I went, oh, I've written the car off. And they go, okay. And you think, what? You should be more annoyed than this. I'm annoyed, you should be annoyed. But you realise it's like that poem, isn't it? Stop All the Clocks. And people say this is like funerals and that. It's the idea of this person's gone. This person was really important. Everyone needs to stop what they're doing. How dare the birds be singing? How dare the binmen be like collecting bins? How dare everyone still be going about their business? Someone's died here. Someone really important's gone. But they're not. It's just a routine. However many crashes they deal with every day, mine was just not significant enough for them to, you know, for any reaction. It was like, oh, okay. And they got it done. And then I rang the insurance company and the same thing happened. I reported it and they said, oh, unfortunately, it was probably your fault because you were pulling over. And I was like, that's wank, but what can you do? There's the truth and then there's the bullshit, you know, sort of law that comes with it. And it's totally unjust, and it's a sad day when you get to an age in your life where you realise good isn't always the winner, you know. In fact, it's just whoever happens to be in the right place at the right time. It's got nothing to do with good, you know. And you grow up with American movies where everyone who's good wins, whereas you actually realise that's bullshit. That's a sad day. But yeah, so I went to the hospital. You know, got checked out by the nurses. They were like, who's this tall glass of water walking in here? I don't know, I've never understood what that saying means. A tall glass of... He's a tall drink of water. What the fuck does that mean? Refreshing? What, wet? What, I've got a big wet patch. I've pissed myself? I don't think that's a very sexy thing to do, is it? Wet yourself. Just walk up to a woman and go, hi there. I've just pissed my pants. You want to go to bed with me? And I'll piss in you. But different kind of piss. It's like a sexy piss. So back to the story. So no, I didn't do that to the nurses. But I went in, obviously, to the hospital. And you have to go through a series of checks. So they check my neck. They check the burn. And then you go somewhere else. And they check this. And then you go there. And they check this. And all day, just check. I was absolutely exhausted. And it's like... my day went from a plan to fucking all this just shit going on. And but I did it. I got it done because it was the right thing to do. And obviously, you know, I have to make sure I'm okay, which I did. I was all good. And that was it, really. It was just, yeah. I mean, the very next day, there was a really bad ringing in my ear. I had a really bad ringing in my ear. I'm quite deaf in this ear at the moment. I'm not hearing very well. I think that was from the bang. Was so loud. I think it just, because the airbags went bang, and I think that's affected my hearing. Also, my sight's a bit blurry. I'm a little bit, but yeah, but there you go. And it's like, I just wanted to kind of share it with you. So I've had a bit of a day. Now I'm currently looking at another car. It's not going to be as nice as that one until obviously I know what's happening with the insurance and I know what's happening with the payout and the finance and everything. If they evaluate the vehicle higher than it's worth, I'll get a bit of extra money. If they don't and it's less, I'll have to pay more. And if it's the same amount, they might just say we'll just match whatever that's worth and done. And it's really funny. This is another thing, right? I had so I've done insurance for years. I had 9 years no claims. That's fucking halved now. And all of a sudden someone will go, did you get pad insurance? And you go, what the fuck is pad insurance? Never heard of fucking pad insurance. No one on this God's green earth has ever mentioned pad insurance to me. Until now. That would have been really useful 6 months ago. It's not useful now. I don't have pad insurance, no. Oh, well, you fucked then. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Very much. And it's like, I hate that. When are you supposed? I think these people that know about pad insurance are people who've gone through this shit, got stung, and then gone, oh, I've got pad insurance. But yeah, there you go. That was my week. That was my day. It's been a couple of days back now. But it's been a nightmare. Is the word I'll use. A fucking nightmare. And I'm just sort of glad I'm still breathing. Because it was bad. I mean, I may or may not include a picture of the vehicle on this video. It's too hard to see. But the next steps, I've got to go to the salvage yard. I've got to get my stuff out of the car. Because things just happen around you. And you're like, shit's just moving. And I don't know how to make this not move. And there's nothing you can do. You just have to kind of let it all distribute around. And hopefully this will be the end of this particular story, other than my insurance just doing what it needs to do and the car being paid and job done. But if not, I don't know what I'm going to do. I just genuinely don't know what I'm going to do. It's just crazy, you know. I've never had an accident like this. I've never had an incident that happens like this. I've always been a pretty careful driver, but this car felt quite cursed, and it was just one of those. But yeah, I'm absolutely fine, guys. I just thought I'd share this story with you. So I do apologise. This video is a couple of days late, but you know, I've got an excuse. I got a letter from my mum. But yeah, thanks, guys. Hopefully you are enjoying the content. My last video pissed a lot of young people off. If any of you have watched the last video and then have decided to come back and watch this one so you can see what I say, I don't fucking care. It is funny. For anyone who does watch me who is of a young generation, you know me by now. I'm only joking. I'm only joking. I don't mean it, okay? It's a joke. I'm a comedy channel that looks at games every now and again and also talks about his horrendous moments in life. So please don't take me seriously. But for those of you who came along and just, you know, got the wrong end of the stick and don't know who you're dealing with and don't know what you're watching, good. I'm glad I pissed you off. That made my day, reading your hateful comments. Guys, thank you very much for joining me on this video. I am okay. Yeah, that was all good. And I shall, if there's any more updates or details, I'll fill you in. But for the moment, I'm okay. I'm here. I'm safe. I'm, you know, yeah, I'm still alive. I'm still on this plane. But it was a tough one. It was a scary one. It could have gone, yeah, both ways. So it didn't. I'm still very much alive. Thanks, guys, and I shall see you in the next video. But until then, stay very safe, please, and look both ways when you are driving or crossing the road, because it's fucking terrifying out there. And one fuck up, and it changes everything. Thank you very much, guys. Goodbye.